So here's the revised Pine Creek Rapid on Salmon River. You can see up there's a bridge. That bridge is still there. There was a slide that came in from that side, and so there's a couple of big rocks out in the river here I'm pretty sure are new. And then this flat spot, it wasn't quite so flat here. All this stuff in here, gravel and rocks and whatever, that was not there before. Okay, here's another slide that's a little bit farther down the river. You can kind of see what happened here. All this stuff came down across the road, and the road has been repaired. So I'm standing on all this stuff. This wasn't here before. But now this is all here, and you can see the river's pretty flat upstream. That didn't used to be flat. It was kind of a nice, continuous downhill. And all this rubble ended up out in the river and kind of flattened things out and made this rapid, you know, and so now we got one big rapid that's very doable instead of a whole bunch of smaller rapids upstream. Here's another one a little farther downstream. So this one slid out, came across the road, and the road has all been repaired. And then it made this whole thing out here that wasn't there before, and it created this rapid. And upstream, the river is flat for about a half mile, where previously it was a nice steady descent. So that tells you that that whole steady descent now happens right in here. And this is looking kind of difficult, actually. And so here's the rapid, and it's looking steep and narrow. So right in here, you don't want to be on the far side of the river. That won't work at all. So you have to be on the closer side. And there's kind of some holes in there, and it's really narrow too, so this could be pretty difficult. So here I am back a couple days later. I thought, well, you know, the scale is always missing from these things. You can't tell how big these rapids are, so I decided to add an item to this photo to give it some scale. So there's a 5-gallon gas can, and the rapid behind. You can see, well, it's kind of big. It's on the edge of doable. And here's another angle on that hole. There's our gas can, there's that hole. I don't know, that's awful steep. So if you carry speed, you're probably just gonna pound into the face of that hole. If you're not carrying speed, you'll probably pound into the face of the hole. This is a tough one. And if you go out in the middle, you might not pound into the face of a hole, so you just kind of slide across, you know, like right in here, slide out there, and you're not in the, you can miss pounding into a hole, but then the water's moving a whole lot faster. And here's another slide, and you know, it came down from up there past my truck, so you can, my truck's there for scale. So all this stuff right here, that wasn't there before, so this is kind of pinched off, and you can see it's kind of flat upstream. So this is that's a bit of a steeper drop than it used to be there. It doesn't look too difficult though. You just kind of come up the right side and then hop out onto the tongue there. And then this stuff down here is similar. It looks like some stuff came down off of here and then ended up out in the river. Maybe it got pushed there by a bulldozer or whatever. So this is a little bit more pinched off, and so the waves are a bit bigger right through here. It's a little bit different, but overall this stretch still looks pretty doable.